Hi guys, welcome to Keeping It Simple Crafts. I hope everyone is doing good. Today I am going to be making my first Christmas DIY for 2020. So I thought I would start out with something that I have never done before. So you're going to need from Dollar Tree one of the toilet plungers. You're going to need a container or vase to put your plunger in. You will need some foam. You're going to need some poinsettias and some berry picks. You will need some LED lights, your hot glue gun and glue sticks, and you're going to need some of the Dollar Tree Christmas trees and Christmas ornaments. So everything came from Dollar Tree except for my little vase, and I found it at Goodwill. So give me just a second and we're going to make our poinsettia Christmas tree using a Dollar Tree toilet plunger. First, you're going to want to remove the plunger part off of your plunger. So you're going to be using these sticks, so you can set the rubber part aside. So you're going to take your stick and you're going to make a little hole in your foam and push your stick into your foam. And then we're going to make sure that our foam is cut down to fit this vase, and then I'm going to hot glue this foam into this vase. Just be very careful when you're using your hot glue. I am using Gorilla Glue, hot glue sticks, and Gorilla Glue hot glue gun, and I have mine set on low temp. So just make sure you add quite a bit of hot glue in the bottom of your vase, and I also added some around the sides. Place your foam in and just hold it a while until the glue can dry. I also added some hot glue around the stick, and then I added some of the pieces of the foam that I had left over and hot glued them around the edges. Now you'll want to take the little plastic piece off the bottom of your little Christmas trees and just fluff one side of the little Christmas trees. You are also going to need some zip ties. So I'm placing one Christmas tree on the left and one on the right, and then I'm going to zip tie them around the plunger stick. My daughter helped me get the two Christmas trees zip tied on, and I added 2 zip ties. Now I purchased 10 of the poinsettia flower picks and 5 of the berry picks, and they're the rose gold at Dollar Tree. Next, I'm just taking some hot glue and just taking one of the poinsettia picks and hot gluing it onto the stick. Now make sure you hold it for a while until the glue has time to dry. So I just added about 3 all the way around the top, and as I went down the tree, I just moved on down lower on the stick, and that way it kind of had a tree shape. Just remember that the poinsettias, when you fluff them, it will, look like you have more. When I was first putting mine on, I thought, well, 10's not enough, but 10 was enough. I wish I would have picked up a couple more berry picks though. But I just moved on down the wooden plunger stick and added my flowers, and then I went back and I fluffed my flowers and kind of shaped them. Some of the white Christmas tree branches that were sticking out and didn't want to cooperate, I just cut them off with the wire cutters. And then also, as I went down toward the bottom of the tree, some of the floral picks, I did cut them shorter and hot glued them on. And then the ones around the bottom, I did, after they were hot glued, I added a zip tie around them just to make it more secure. And you'll want to go back and just make sure everything's hot glued on, and I added some extra hot glue after I checked mine. Also, you might want to get an extra poinsettia pick just in case you need to cut it apart and just place a flower here and there if you see a spot that's just missing something, or a berry. Right now, Dollar Tree has the poinsettias in gold, rose gold, silver, white, burgundy, and red. Sorry if you hear a tractor. My neighbor is cutting our hay, so I'm sorry if it goes by every once in a while. Okay, and so this is where I was down at the bottom, so I just cut the stems just a little bit shorter and then hot glued them on. And then this is where on the bottom I added that extra zip tie just to pull it all together to make sure everything stays in place. So that's what I used to cut the stems shorter. I don't know what those are called, I'm sorry. I think they're like 10 snips, but I could be wrong. I had planned to tie a big bow to put on the front of the vase, but then when I got it made, I decided it didn't need a bow. And so this is how it looks once you've fluffed your flowers and spread out your berry picks and kind of shaped the little Christmas trees. And so there's the extra zip tie that I mentioned earlier. And so it really turns out full with 15 floral picks total. Next, my daughter and I added the battery-powered LED lights from Dollar Tree, and I just kind of wrapped them around the branches. Now, it could have probably used 2 packages instead of just 1, but I think it will still be pretty tonight. Please excuse the mess in the floor. I've got wreaths planned. I've got some more fall and Halloween wreaths planned, so we just kind of bagged them up and put them in the dining room so I'd have everything together. So I'm sorry about the mess. Okay, and next we use these little garland ties to wrap the trunk of the tree, but you could use the burlap ribbon if you cannot find the garland ties, or just some twine would be pretty too. I have never used this garland ties before. I know a lot of people do when they decorate their stairways, but it was kind of a little bit difficult for me to get it as tight as I wanted, but I just kind of was patient with it and kind of worked it, and the wires did bend. I originally bought these Christmas ornaments to go on the tree itself, but after I saw it, I thought it had enough sparkle to it, so I just decided to use them as face filler. And just remember to hide the battery box and kind of cover it up in the back. And so really the tree is beautiful from all directions, so you can use it on your dining room, an entry table, all kinds of options for this centerpiece. I first set it on the floor, the hearth, in front of my fireplace, and it looked really pretty sitting there, except my daughter's little coonhound wanted to mess with it, so that's why I moved it to my husband's grandmother's antique sewing machine. This Christmas flower arrangement was really easy to make, and it didn't take very long at all to make, and it cost around $20, so let me know what you think. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And remember, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. And I hope everyone's doing good and staying safe.